Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Tom Johnson begins now.
Hundreds of health workers have scrambled to provide evidence of a COVID vaccine hours before the mandate came into effect. Public Health is now sending letters to 170 staff left to get the jab, warning they'll get the sack if they don't comply. But there could be many more private health staff unaccounted for.
A message of thanks to those on the front line of the vaccination effort as staff take time out of their regular jobs to help ramp up the rollout.
I want to be part of that group that said, yes, I was part of vaccinating Tasmania and getting everyone to that point where we can open up the borders again and travel.
Calvary were really good in reducing my hours there, so I still work there 2 days a week, and then the rest of the days of the week I'm vaccinating.
Getting into the spirit of Halloween as Tasmanians roll up their sleeves this weekend. But there's a word of warning for 1% of the workforce yet to meet the mandatory vaccine deadline, which came into effect today.
If you're part of the 170, you are not permitted, as from midnight last night, to enter a health service. So we are actually printing out the letters now in relation to communications with those employees.
38 nurses, 7 allied health practitioners and 4 paramedics among the permanent staff to be temporarily stood down, given 14 days to provide evidence of a booking or exemption.
We're not going to wait the weeks or the months for people to actually put in a booking. In fact, one overnight told us they'd get vaccinated in 2023. So that is not in compliance with the direction.
Today's figures only include state sector employees, and 7 Tasmania understands there could be many more private healthcare workers unaccounted for who are still refusing to get the jab. Now, disability service employees have until November 21 to get the jab.
Well, we've got a bit over 400 people who work in disability, and I'm sure that they, like other parts of the Tasmanian community, are committed to protecting others. So I don't think we're going to have any trouble having our staff lined up and having the jab.
The vaccine mandate could soon be extended to other workers in high-risk settings, including teachers, as the goal of reaching 90% double dose by December draws closer. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
Flames have ripped through a Launceston takeaway shop and adjoining home after a costly oil fire. According to locals, C's Takeaway in NEWNHAM had the best fish and chips in town, but it will now be closed for the foreseeable future after being destroyed.
Smoke billowing out of a local's favourite as firefighters rush to extinguish a blaze. C's Takeaway had been open only half an hour when emergency services were called to the shop.
Crews got called about 10:23 this morning, report of a structure fire opposite Arches Manor.
Arriving to find the store and adjoining house fully engulfed in flames. Georgetown and Allenvale roads were closed to traffic for several hours as fire crews battled the blaze.
This was a difficult fire to bring under control. It was over an hour, and also with the impact of the wind driving right through, it was creating a lot of complexities.
An estimated $500,000 worth of damage was caused. Thankfully, the owners and a customer who was in the store escaped unharmed.
And that customer actually helped have the employees removed from that area and called 000.
Crews later determining the accidental fire was caused by an unattended pot on the stove. They're urging caution while cooking with oils. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
An 18-year-old man has died in an ATV crash in the Central Highlands this morning. Emergency services were called to Father of Marshes Road in Wayatina just after 3 o'clock. The 25-year-old driver of the vehicle was taken to hospital with minor injuries. Police say it's likely speeding was a factor in the crash. A driver has been taken to hospital after a late-night crash in Launceston CBD. Emergency services attended the intersection of Patterson and St John Streets just before 1 a.m. Police say one woman was trapped in the car for a short time. The state government has been criticised for slow wait times in hospital emergency departments. The opposition says the latest health dashboard data shows patients aren't being seen soon enough.
At the Royal Hobart Hospital, 19% of Tasmanians with a potentially life-threatening condition weren't seen in the clinically recommended timeframes, as were 38% at the Launceston General Hospital.
When it comes to our 4-year elective surgery plan, clinician-led, patient-focused, those key areas particularly, people are being seen within the clinically recommended timeframes.
The state government says it's employing more full-time emergency doctors to help with demand. Vintage machinery enthusiasts have taken a trip down Nostalgia Lane, gathering for the annual Steam Up event. Celebrating their love of engines over a century old, hundreds of people are making the pilgrimage to Westbury.
Keith Luff loves steam engines.
It's just the engineering. I'm a fitter machinist by trade. I just love them. I just love them.
In fact, he's come to Tasmania for two things only: to visit Steam Up and buy this 1912 Foden traction engine.
I was attending to the engine and a fellow came up to me and he said, my surname's Foden. And I've just gone, what?
It's amazing what you can find at Steam Up, even hand-built cars.
It's a 1927 hand-built Wolseley racing car. I built it from scratch. I made the chassis. About 2 years, yeah. I enjoyed it.
In fact, there's something for everybody. Historical machinery, train rides and crowds of people going silly for steam.
I like the old balers. I was looking at them, the old wire-tied bales of hay.
And people enjoy it. Look at the kids walking around and enjoying the ride on the steam train and the comradeship, the fellowship of the people talking, you know, it's great.
I liked the organs along here, the music they play is just beautiful, yeah, it's great.
Hundreds of people a day flow through the gates, providing the Westbury Preservation Society with much needed funds and a steady stream of new members.
So we've had a few people who have said they want to join us as volunteers already, which is always a positive thing. We always look out for new volunteers, younger and older, we don't mind.
Steam Up is on for one last day tomorrow at Perns Steamworld. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's most promising cyclists are resting up tonight after completing a development camp over the weekend. Cycling hundreds of kilometres through pain, sun and even snow, the event prepares them for upcoming major events on the calendar.
After 2 days and more than 200 kilometres, it was time to pack up and head home this afternoon. Those looking to follow in the footsteps of Richie Port put through their paces in a gruelling session.
Yeah, there were plenty of different conditions, good testing conditions. We made it through though.
The state's most promising junior cyclists taking part in a 2-day camp. Snaking through Tasmania's wilderness, they battled difficult climbs and treacherous weather, also learning tactics and important road racing skills.
Simple things about, you know, how to eat, how to drink on the bike. They would come back to the team car, we would learn and teach them.
Former professionals sharing their insights about what it takes to get to the top.
My role was just to try and share some of my experiences over the last 10 years of racing and try and share that with them.
A rewarding effort for those involved.
The conditions were really tough, but sometimes the challenge makes the whole day.
New places that I have never seen before. The climb we did yesterday was very new to me.
And good preparation for a busy summer period, with the Christmas carnivals and the national championships on the radar.
Looking forward to that. It'll be a great opportunity to have a real crack and see what's going on.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Guests at CATARACT on Patterson have been greeted by a spooky surprise. The restaurant transforming its normally classy decor for cobwebs, spiders and skulls, while hiring some frightening new staff.
Spooking, singing happy birthday, stealing their food, you know.
Delivering their food.
Delivering, pouring drinks.
Today's Halloween high tea wasn't the last chance to get a scary supper, with the decorations set to stay up for one more day. And it's been a nightmare Halloween weekend for the Hobart Hurricanes WBBL finals chances in Launceston. They fell short to a rampant Brisbane Heat batting lineup last night before going down to the Sydney Thunder this morning.
With 2 matches in just 15 hours, this was a big weekend for the Hurricanes' finals chances. Bowling first, they made a positive start.
And Taylor Volemic, an outstanding delivery, takes the top of off stump. She's on fire.
It was their only joy for the first 10 overs, as Litchfield and Montana dominated.
Litchfield advances, lofts, hits it long and straight.
Throwing themselves at everything to stem the runs, they finally broke the partnership, removing Litchfield for 31. Simriti Manhana making 50 before being dismissed, although replay suggested it should have been a no ball. Late hitting from the middle order helping set the Hurricanes 147. Hobart's chase got off to a bad start.
In the air, and what a catch! Deepti Sharma!
Ruth Johnston followed a short time later for 7. Duprier once again leading the fight back.
Duprier gives herself some room and lofts it down the ground for 4.
The South African making 41 before a Lauren Smith catch ended her day. With the run rate creeping up, Nicola Carey began swinging.
Nicola Carey with the field up, a reverse sweep for 6.
But when her and Gosh went in quick succession, it was game over, mustering just 8 for 109 from 20 overs. It completed a miserable weekend for the Canes, also going down to the Brisbane Heat last night. Batting first, Brisbane's opening pair belted Hobart all around Utah Stadium.
Harris shifts across and doesn't bother running.
Their opening stand of 140, helping the Heat post 4 for 170. In reply, Hobart slumped to 2 for 16. Mignon Duprier and Nicola Carey combined for an 87-run partnership, putting them back in the contest. However, their dismissal stunted the chase.
Outside edge of Carey.
The Hurricanes falling short by 14 runs. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. 19 across Launceston and Burnie today, Hobart and Devonport 17. 20 was the state's top about friendly beaches and St Helens, Lowhead and Strawn 16 and 12 at Lyowini. On the close-up shows low-level clouds streaming across Tasmania, mostly in the west and south. Further out, middle to upper level cloud with embedded thunderstorms is seen passing over WA. Tomorrow, a complex area of low pressure develops over southwest WA. West to northwesterly winds tomorrow 10 to 15 knots, swells up to 5 metres in the west and south and up to 4 metres in the east. A strong wind warning is current for eastern coast waters from the northern tip of Flinders Island to St Helens Point and for the southern and western waters. A moderate flood warning for the Macquarie River and a minor flood warning for the Jordan River. Tomorrow's forecast now Hobart cloudy, 18 across Dover and Ouse. In the north, Launceston 20, partly cloudy across Devonport and Scottsdale. Burnie and Stanley tomorrow 19, early showers in Strawn. St Helens and Swansea 19 and Ross cloudy. The UV forecast is very high 7s and 8s across the state. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Tuesday fine apart from patchy early fog. Wednesday showers developing about the west in the morning and Thursday showers easing and contracting to the north and east during the morning. Capital cities 19 and a shower or 2 in Perth tomorrow, mostly sunny in Sydney and 32 in Cairns. And currently Hobart 16 and mostly cloudy, Launceston 16 and Devonport 15 and partly cloudy. That's all for weather tonight, Tom.
Thank you once again, Jackie. And that is it from us this Sunday evening. Kim will be back tomorrow night. Enjoy your evening.